For most of human history, the end of life was a familiar process happening at home. But over the 20th century, modern medicine rapidly advanced, and we moved the sick and the dying into hospital wards, hoping to cure them. By removing the dying from our homes, we lost our familiarity with the process. In its place, we built a terrifying cultural expectation, the sudden, painful, dramatic finale we see so often in movies. But those who work closely with the dying know this cinematic struggle is largely a myth. Human dying is a highly predictable biological sequence with distinct, recognizable stages. As the body's energy fades, a person slips into a profound, peaceful unconsciousness. The brain begins turning off unnecessary functions, leaving only the automatic reflex driving the lungs, which creates a deep, rhythmic breathing cycle that gradually slows. Our fear of these final moments is rooted in a simple lack of anatomical understanding. To truly grasp why this transition is so peaceful on the surface, we have to look at what is happening underneath the skin. When the heart stops beating, the flow of oxygenated blood through the circulatory system slows to a complete halt. Within just 15 to 20 seconds of this oxygen starvation, the cerebral cortex, the outer layer of the brain responsible for conscious thought, shuts down, bringing on a deep unconsciousness. Yet the brain doesn't die instantly. This animated EEG shows a brief, highly organized spike of gamma waves. These are the final signatures of neurons burning their last reserves of ATP fuel. Once that energy depletes, all neurological activity stops. This total energy loss triggers a cascade throughout the physical structure. Without ATP, which is required to release muscle fibers, the proteins within the muscle tissue permanently lock together, causing the stiffening known as rigor mortis. Meanwhile, the surrounding cells, now completely starved of their essential fuel source, can no longer maintain their internal boundaries. They release destructive enzymes and begin digesting themselves from the inside out in the process of autolysis. Biological death is the straightforward exhaustion of cellular fuel and oxygen. But while the activity ends, the atoms themselves remain, presenting a challenge to our understanding of vitality. A living human body and a dead human body contain the exact same atoms in the exact same quantities. Not a single particle of matter vanishes at the moment of death. Schrödinger spent years investigating what precisely distinguishes living matter from inert dead matter when both are built from identical atomic building blocks. He concluded that life relies on negative entropy. In physics, entropy is the universal law that all closed systems decay into random disorder. Life is a temporary, highly organized pattern that must continuously expend energy to actively fight back against that physical decay. We see this battle happening inside our DNA. A single gene relies on tens of thousands of atoms to hold a stable genetic code, actively identifying and repairing molecular damage to prevent the structure from falling apart. This animated diagram shows what physical death actually is at the atomic level, the exact moment those active biological repair mechanisms fail, allowing the atoms to finally surrender to structural chaos. Life exists as a temporary pattern of order, a remarkable but fleeting resistance against the irreversible laws of thermodynamics. Pulling back from this atomic realm, we return to the quiet reality of a person taking their final breath. That final exhale marks the moment the body's cells and atoms seamlessly reach a state of physical equilibrium with the surrounding universe. Understanding the strict biology and physics of this process strips away the terrifying mystery of a cinematic struggle, revealing death as a predictable, natural transition. When the process is no longer a dark mystery, but a predictable physical event, the fear of the unknown begins to fade. We find a different kind of resolution at the bedside, one grounded in scientific awe and the quiet peace of a system finally coming to rest.